Yo guys, and as you can tell by the thumbnail and by the title of this video, I am back with another WWE review, but this time it is the Smackdown before Wrestlepalooza that officially happens tonight at midnight in the UK and Northern Ireland and Ireland. Not sure on any other place, but off the top of my head, but I know for the UK the main shows starts at midnight, so yeah. I can't believe it's tonight already. It literally feels like we've still got another couple of weeks until Wrestlepalooza, but we don't. It officially happens tonight. There was supposed to be the triple threat that was announced for next week between Jade Cargill, Nia Jax, and Tiffany Stratton for the WWE Women's Championship. Was on a T-shirt for the official Wrestlepalooza card merchandise, but they were selling T-shirts with that triple threat on, and then realised last night, after going through medical and speaking to Tiffany, I presume, that she's still not cleared to wrestle in the ring. Not sure what's going on with her, but she's not cleared at the moment, but will definitely be cleared next week, but unfortunately is not cleared for tonight. So that was supposed to be on tonight's show, but yeah, like I've just said, Tiffany isn't cleared, so we've still got the 5 matches that we were originally having. So luckily my prediction video has not changed in terms of there being more matches, but the main event got changed, of course. Literally the next day after I filmed it on the Thursday, the main event is now not Brock Lesnar versus John Cena, even though that was the main event for the week prior to me filming that video. It was put out that that was going to be the main event, but then ESPN on Thursday, the day after I filmed my prediction video, announced that John Cena versus Brock Lesnar is kicking off Wrestlepalooza tonight. And apparently the main event tonight, don't quote me on it because I'm not 100% sure if this is actually going to be the main event, but apparently it's Drew McIntyre versus Cody Rhodes for the WWE Undisputed Championship, which would make sense for it to be the main event. It's not worthy of being main event if you look at it from a storyline perspective, but if you look at it on who the two people are and what the match is for, then I guess it does make sense for it to be the main event. But my boy Seth Rollins and my boy CM Punk and my girl Becky Lynch and my girl AJ Lee should be main eventing, but it is what it is. I guess we'll have to wait and see tonight, because wrestling sources don't tend to get it right, because they were selling us loads of wrestling sources, near enough every single wrestling source were telling us that Brock Lesnar and John Cena were main eventing, and then we find out a couple of days ago that actually they were kicking off the show. So don't believe everything you see when it comes to wrestling sources, because 70% of the time they aren't right. But I guess we'll have to wait and see what happens tonight on Wrestlepalooza and who main events it. But anyways, if you saw by the thumbnail, I gave last night's go home show for Wrestlepalooza a 3 out of 5, because what was that last night? That was the weirdest Smackdown I think I've watched in a very, very long time. It felt very rushed. It felt lazy. Like, it just felt like they were like, you know what, you just do that, you do that, and you do that. Like, it just felt a bit like, what the fuck is going on? There's not really much to take from last night's Smackdown, because it was just so, like, all over the place and chaotic, that it was just the weirdest go home show weirdest go home show to a PLE that I think I've ever watched. Because what the fuck was that last night? I don't know. I'm not going to be too harsh on them with how bad Smackdown was last night, even though I have given it a 3 out of 5, but I could have easily given it a 2. But there were some moments in last night's Smackdown that made it worthy of a very low 3 out of 5. But I'm going to give them credit, considering that there's a big event happening tonight, the very first time on ESPN. I can understand that the WWE, all the officials, Triple H, Nick Khan, and everyone that works behind the scenes producing the show from start to finish, from little bits here and there, are probably head over heels, not to quote Tears for Fears, but with trying to figure out everything for tonight, the matches, the surprises, what's going to happen, the stage and all that sort of stuff. So I'll let it slide that last night's SmackDown was a bit chaotic and all over the place, but don't be doing that every single time, please, because that was the weirdest SmackDown last night. And we kicked off SmackDown with Brock Lesnar. Michael Cole was supposed to go to the back and have an interview with Brock Lesnar, but Brock Lesnar's music hit. He met Michael Cole halfway, picked Michael Cole up, took him around the whole of the ring, dropped him into the ring. I was expecting him to F5 Michael Cole, but Corey Graves came in to save Michael Cole from getting F5'd by Brock Lesnar. He ended up getting F5'd. Then Brock went around and destroyed the whole of the arena, near enough, very angrily, and then he shouted into the camera saying, "John, I'm coming for you, it's D-Day tomorrow, I'm coming for blood." So we can expect some blood in tonight's match, I think, maybe, probably, because I always always seems to be the way when it comes to John Cena versus Brock Lesnar. There always seems to be a little bit of blood or loads of blood, so expect blood tonight for that match. I mean, I think it's going to be quite chaotic and crazy and hard hitting and a bit of a oh god type of watch, but yeah. And then he F5'd Corey Graves again. Oh, actually, he said that line, "John, I'm coming for you, it's D-Day tomorrow, I'm coming for blood," and then he started destroying the commentator of the stairs, the prime stand, and whatever else he was destroying, and then he came back into the ring and F5'd Corey again. I thought that happened after, but no, it was the other way around. And that was the end of it. And then after he destroyed Michael Cole, and well, kind of destroyed Michael Cole and destroyed Corey Graves and destroyed the whole arena, he met up with a familiar face backstage in Paul Heyman, and said to Paul Heyman that him and Paul Heyman need to speak. And my mate Alex, who actually, I'll put his YouTube in the description down below, he films wrestling videos as well. He actually could be right with the people that he said could be in the War Games match. And I think, I've got to try and remember off the top of my head, I think he said, so if Alex, if you're watching this, comment down below if I'm wrong, or not who you actually said, but my brain is very like wrestling fried right now because of what's happened on SmackDown last night and what's happening tonight and other stuff, so I'm going to try and remember who he said. I think he said it would be Brock Lesnar, Seth Rollins, Bronson Reed, Bron Breakker, Drew McIntyre, Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton, CM Punk, John Cena. Who was the other person? If I said Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton, CM Punk, John Cena, and who was that other person that he said? I don't think it was Jey Uso. It might have been Jey Uso, but I don't think it was Jey Uso. I don't remember him saying Jey Uso, but I don't know who that fifth person was. I know the five for the Team Seth, but Team Cena, or Team Brock versus Team Cena actually, probably. I don't know who the other person is. Roman Reigns, that's what it was, Roman Reigns. There you go, Roman Reigns. So them 10 people. Which I would be so down if he gets it right and they're the 5 people in the Team Brock and they're the 5 people in Team Cena, because what a fucking War Games that's going to be. But I don't know if it's going to go that way because of this whole WWE versus NXT. Unless they're doing WWE versus NXT for the women. I think they're doing WWE versus NXT for the women, not for the men. I think the men will have a Team Cena versus a Team Brock, which will be those 10 people, then 10 men, and then the women's War Games will be Team WWE women versus Team NXT women, because they're always the women on Raw are always going, and SmackDown are always going, they're the best women division, and then NXT are always going, this is the best women's division. So I think they're going to clash in a Team WWE versus Team NXT Women's War Games. So he could be on something with those 10 people, and it probably will be that. But yeah, it's gonna be very interesting to see what goes on with like the dynamic with Seth and Brock now, because I don't think Seth would want to team up with Brock, and I'm not saying, I mean, he probably will put his feelings aside for Brock in real life, because I know for a fact in real life that Seth doesn't like Brock. I just hope he doesn't anyway. But I guess we'll have to wait and see. Anyways, the first match that happened on Smackdown last night, and we only had 3 matches last night, and one of them was Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss defending their WWE Women's Tag Team Championships against Alba Fire and Chelsea Green, the Secret Hervis. In a very decent women's tag team match, not really much to take from it, but it was a decent. Charlotte and Alexa retained, and that's pretty much all I've got to say about it. I don't tend to write down match points and things I want to talk about unless it's PLE. So all I've got on here was the match, and then what I rated it last night. So by the looks of it, it was decent. Yeah. And then we did have a match between Fraction and the Vision. Fraction came to the ring, and then the Vision, Braun Breaker and Roxy Reed attacked him. Paul Heyman done a little promo in the ring, and then Fraction attacked him from behind again, and then we got an official match between those 4, which was a fantastic tag team match. Definitely the top of 3 out of 5. Wasn't a 4 out of 5, but definitely up there with one of the best like tag teams matches that I've seen on SmackDown this year, because it was very, very enjoyable to watch, and they both of the teams' chemistry worked really well with one another, considering how last minute it was probably put together by the looks of SmackDown last night. So yeah, no, very decent, very, very decent tag team match between those 4 last night. And then we also last night got the fantastic 4 out of 5 classic with Carmella Hayes and Sami Zayn for the United States Championship. I'm loving that Sami Zayn is doing US Open challenges, but they're not actually US Open challenges because they are trying to get a match the week before. But we didn't get any interaction with Sami Zayn and another wrestler on last night's SmackDown. So does that mean that next week's SmackDown we're actually going to get an open challenge and someone's going to come out, which I think it's going to be Shinsuke Nakamura. Won't be that down for that. But I guess we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, no, last night's match between Carmelo and Sami Zayn was a 4 out of 5 classic. Fucking fantastic, and I would want to see that again, and I would want to see the match that he done last week as well with Rey Fenix again and again and again. Just like that match last night, I want to see that again and again, because it was fucking fantastic. So good. We also had last night a video package of part 2. I think they're doing part 3 tonight. I'm not too sure if they're doing an actual video package tonight, but they done part 2 of the video package of Cena and Lesnar of their rivalry career, and you know when Brock Lesnar made his return to WWE in 2012, literally the week before I went to wrestling, which is quite cool, I guess in a way, that a week before I went to wrestling for the first time. Well, I did a re-show for the first time. Brock Lesnar returned to WWE a week prior. So yeah, we got pretty much that, and the Extreme Rules match that they done in 2012 where John Cena beat Brock Lesnar, and then their brutal match in 2014 at SummerSlam when Brock Lesnar completely destroyed John Cena and won the World Heavyweight Championship and WWE Championship at the time. They were called WWE Undisputed Championship, but I don't call it that when it was that. I called it the WWE Championship and the World Heavyweight Championship because that's what belts they were. And I miss the fucking... Every time I see the World Heavyweight Championship, the old one, be in video packages or just on someone's Instagram story, it takes me back to a time when wrestling had really good championships, because that championship is my favourite championship of all time. And it is. And then my second favourite championship of all time is the White Intercontinental Championship championship that Cody Rhodes designed. Those 2 titles are my favourites of all time, because the World Heavyweight Championship just looks like a WWE Championship. Like, it just gives off vibe of WWE Championship, like the old like World Heavyweight Championship. It just, I don't know, it just has that vibe of like WWE. When the new World Heavyweight Championship doesn't really hit for me as much as that World Heavyweight Championship did. It just looks like a championship. So I really miss the World Heavyweight Championship that we used to have, and I'm so grateful and lucky and glad and all things above that I got to witness that championship be defended on a show before they got rid of it. Not live, but I did get to see it, you know, be defended, and actually was a part of WWE when that belt was around, because it was great, and I really do miss it every time it's on the screen. But yeah, and then literally the last thing I've got on here is the main event that happened last night, and that was the contract signing between Drew McIntyre and Cody Rhodes. That is literally all I wrote. I literally wrote the Brock Lesnar and segment and just a little bit that happened, and then the 3 matches, the video package, and then the Drew and Cody segment. That is literally it. So I've wrote 2 segments and 3 matches about SmackDown last night, a 2-hour show, and that's all I've wrote, because it was the weirdest SmackDown last night that I've ever watched. But these 5 things right here have made it worthy of a low 3 out of 5. But if that Brock Lesnar segment didn't happen at the beginning, we probably would have had a really good match actually. But so yeah, I think last night's SmackDown would have been a 3 out of 5 either way. But it was not great. It was, yeah. But anyways, I did give Drew and Cody segment a 4 out of 5 last night, because those two are just so good on the mic, and the brawl that happened afterwards was really enjoyable to watch as well. The things that Cody said on the mic, the little thing that Drew said on the mic, them two just work so well together. So, and there used to be a tag team called the Chosen Ones, if you didn't know. If you've only been watching wrestling for the last they were last tag team a while ago, so the last 5-6 years, you might not know that they were a tag team, but yeah, they used to be called the Chosen Ones, because Drew McIntyre was the Chosen One, and then Cody Rhodes was the Dashing One, so they just put the Chosen One, because they both used the and one, so they just put Chosen in the middle of it, and pretty much just carried on what Drew's nickname was. But yeah, so they used to be called that. All the Dashing Ones, actually, they might be called the Dashing Ones, because they changed. I think they might actually, yeah, I think they might have been called the Dashing Ones, because I think they changed Chosen to Dashing. They're either called the Dashing Ones or the Chosen Ones anyway. I think it might have been the Dashing Ones actually. No, Chosen Ones. I don't know, either way they were a tag team. Whether they used the Chosen Ones or the Dashing Ones, because they're pretty much the same, similar thing anyway. But yeah, Cody said that Drew is a keyboard warrior, because he spends the majority of the time as a content creator, which he pretty much does. Like, he's very much on his phone and constantly posting Instagram videos and Twitter videos and TikTok videos about wrestlers and about his cats and gym and all that sort of stuff. So Cody's not lying there. Drew sent a tweet saying thank you Cody, because he actually gave Drew a chance at the belt, and he knows that Cody won't allow anyone to get involved, because he knows that Cody likes to just have a traditional one-on-one match with no involvement, which now makes me believe that Randy Orton will get involved tonight, because of Drew saying that Cody doesn't allow people to get involved, which now means that probably Randy Orton is now probably going to get involved in their match. But yeah, I guess we'll have to wait and see. Yeah, and like I already said, Cody said that Drew is now a content creator, which again, he's quite right. And then Drew and Cody started brawling after Drew delivered a Glasgow kiss to Cody Rhodes after he signed the contract. Cody also signed the contract earlier on in the night. And Drew was about to Claymore him into the announce table, but decided not to, because he wanted to have that match against Cody Rhodes tonight for the WWE Championship, so he didn't end up Claymoring him. He just shouted some stuff in his face about the fact that he wants the match tonight. Made his way out to the front of the ramp, and then Cody Rhodes come out like fucking Superman and done a suicide dive to Drew McIntyre. They started brawling again. Security and referee had to split him up. They started brawling again, and then I think Drew McIntyre Claymore kicked him, or just kicked him in the face, and that was the end of the night. And that is how SmackDown finished, and that was that. Done. And that was it for SmackDown last night. Like I said, I've spoken about 2 segments, a video package, and 3 matches. Because that was literally the only 3 matches we had. We had 3 matches last night, and that was it. And then obviously the announcement of Tiffany and Jade and Nia for the WWE Women's Championship next week, because Tiffany's still not cleared, so it couldn't happen tonight. And yeah, guys, that was it. Let me know in the comments down below if you agree with me with it being a 3 out of 5, or do you believe? I actually felt that it was actually quite a good good SmackDown last night, so I actually feel it was quite a low 4 out of 5. Or do you believe that this was one of the best SmackDowns you've ever watched, and you're annoyed at me for giving it a 3 out of 5 because you think this was the greatest one of the greatest SmackDowns of all time this year, and you gave it a 5 out of 5? Or do you believe that it was even worse than a 3 out of 5? And you gave it a 2 out of 5? Or do you believe that this was the worst SmackDown of the year, you wish this SmackDown never happened, and you'll never ever watch it again, and it was a 1 out of 5? Please make sure to let me know, because I'll be very intrigued to know what your thoughts were on this week's SmackDown. And let me know, guys, what match are you most looking forward to tonight for Wrestlepalooza? And are you watching AEW All Out? I know people get crazy when someone that watches WWE watches AEW, or someone that watches AEW watches WWE, but guys, it's wrestling. Hello, they're both wrestling, right? We can all watch both of them. We don't all need to clash heads because AEW and WWE are having a PLE on the same day. We get more wrestling, so shut up, you lot. Come on now, moaning wrestling fans, that's what I call them, because what are you lot complaining about? We get to have more hours of wrestling, so why are you complaining? Anyways, that's a whole topic for another day, that this whole AEW versus WWE fans wise at this moment, because honestly, it's a bit crazy, because there was a TikTok video last night that someone uploaded, well, not last night, but yesterday, that someone uploaded about the Wrestlepalooza card, about them all being, the majority of the card being in their late 30s, early 40s, and then the brief thing that I said a few things about the whole thing that this guy was saying, but briefly I put wrestlers are wrestling into their late 30s / early 40s because WWE actually take care of the health of their talent, because they are still able to wrestle considering the ages that they are. But AEW always constantly do stipulation matches where there is the fear of them getting badly injured in their early career, to the point they even have to maybe possibly retire quite early on in their career. And I put, if wrestlers in their 20s, if they want to wrestle and this be their dream job into their late 40s, then AEW isn't the place for them, because it's not. And it's not. Like, AEW thrive, that T-word anyway, on PLEs having literally every PLE match near enough having a really crazy stipulation that they could get injured or worse. But WWE don't need to do stipulations constantly for the PLE to have big moments in the match and after the match. That's pretty much what I said, because it's true. Like, WWE don't need to do that to have a good PLE, when AEW have to do stipulation matches to have a good PLE, because none of them know how to do a wrestling match without a stipulation. Like, loads of them don't, because they're constantly just being booked to be in stipulation matches all the time on PLEs, not on normal AEW Dynamite or Collision, because obviously that tends to be not really very stipulations, because it's not a PLE. But their pay-per-views tend to just constantly thrive off stipulations, because they don't know how to do a PLE without any, because the show won't do as well if they don't do stipulations. When WWE can do a show and it almost sell out near enough, 98% of the time will completely sell out without any stipulations on the card whatsoever. So there we go, AEW fans. Stop fucking taking digs at WWE for putting on a card with people in their late 30s, early 40s and late 40s, when they can actually still wrestle because WWE take care of them, when AEW clearly don't take care of their talent, because a lot of them are retiring or getting severely injured because they're constantly being put in these crazy ass matches all the time, and it doesn't need to be like that all the time, like all the time. But anyways, that's my little rant about AEW and WWE, about the video that I watched yesterday, because yeah, it's just like, what? It's just like, shut up, mate. But anyways, guys, I hope you guys have enjoyed this Smackdown review. Kind of took a little bit of a turn, went into an AEW rant, but yeah, it just had to be done because I mentioned the fact that I'm watching AEW All Out tonight as well as watching Wrestlepalooza. But let me know down below, what match are you most looking forward to? Wrestlepalooza. Forget about AEW. What match are you most looking forward to tonight about Wrestlepalooza? Personally, it would be AJ Lee and CM Punk versus Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins, of course. But I will not be doing any reaction videos. Well, I don't think I will. There's a possibility that I might, but a slight possibility that I might, but most likely I won't. But anyways, guys, this has been Charlie, and I will see you guys in tomorrow's video, which will be the Wrestlepalooza review. Peace.